One of the Steves says, oops, 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 oops. What? Did you stub your toe trying to log into the show? Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all get a good chuckle out of that.
See the other article I sent you? Sent you two.
Oh, I'm keenly aware.
They're related. It's almost like there's a theme.
It's like we have a theme going on this morning. All right. We're going to start with that one.
You know, to be fair, it does look a lot like a fat Asian chick.
Okay, we'll get back to that in just a minute. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing, sugar?
I'm good. I'm good. Hey, I have a joke to get us going. Chris.
Yeah?
Please tell the audience what my first and last name is.
Cameron Anderson?
No. My name is Cameron and her daughter.
And her daughter?
No, and her daughter.
And I see.
My name is John.
Like the Fetter bitch?
I know, see, I'm virtue signaling.
Of course. Virtue signaling is important.
How else can anybody know what my virtues are? I mean, it's not like I could, live a specific lifestyle and actually attempt to achieve actual achievements with...
I'm sorry, I just got completely distracted by that headline.
Yeah, that's
What? Okay, that's one that I'm just going to go ahead and pull that up, and we'll get back to that if we get a chance, because what?
That can't be real. It might be real, though. And it might not be the same Kevin Bacon.
I should think not. I should hope not. I guess.
Okay. So, are you ready to be offensive AF, sir?
Oh God.
It's current year, and
okay.
We're cavemen on this subject, and proud of it.
So I'm not going to actually start with that article. I'm going to start with this image. We'll just go ahead and do this. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here's the first thing I want you guys to understand. I've been to New Hampshire. There are good things about New Hampshire, like the liquor stores. Right? New Hampshire, no state income tax, right? And they make up revenue by state-owned liquor stores. And the liquor stores there are these gigantic, surgically clean, beautiful, just obelisks, monuments to the beverage. You can find everything there. And the existence of those liquor stores presents a serious moral hazard to anyone who imbibes within the borders of that state, because apparently the hottest chicks in New Hampshire are this fat guy. Can you pick the transgender model out of this group, Cameron?
I don't know. That fat dude's blocking some of the women in the picture.
Is the tranny behind the fat dude?
Right.
So, okay.
Just real quick, how sad are all these other girls that probably like exercise and diet and like do all the things? You know, I kind of, it tastes like if you play sports in college and you bust your ass for that scholarship, and then
Michelle Phelps shows up
right,
and blasts you by 2 freaking pool lengths.
Right. Yeah, and then a chick with a penis comes into your locker room and is like, "Hey, girls." Yeah. Ooh. Go Penn State, am I right?
I'm gonna win this female competition. My dick's not even big enough to cause me any aerodynamic issues in the water.
Right.
Now, in fairness, sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. This is exactly the same as, say, Condoleezza Rice being admitted to the Masters.
You're going to have to roll that out.
Oh, you don't remember that?
No, I do.
It's because it's been like 20 years ago when it was, having a golf club that's exclusively male is sexist. And this totally won't have any slippery slope effects. Let's just go ahead and... But, there's a big difference. But at least
nobody tried to say Condoleezza Rice was actually a dude, even though she kind of looked like one.
See, and the funny thing is, Condi has turned out to be a rock solid conservative in a lot of ways.
In some ways,
but there was a big difference, right, between a woman joining an all-male sports club, not an all-male sport. There was an LGPA, right, but an all-male sports club, right, joining the Masters. There's a big difference there between that and Michelle Phelps, I mostly because I can't remember his name, the trans swimmer that went in and murdered all the college women in the pool. Anyway, there's a big difference there because it's not like she showed up and because of her great physical prowess and superiority immediately began smashing everybody else's records. But right now, there are men dressed as women who hold the world records in women's sports.
It's almost like
Sergeant Major points out she is a member of the club but has not qualified to play in the Masters. That's actually a really excellent inclusion there because it totally bolsters my point. If it were the other way around and we were talking about Tigress Woods joining the LGPA,
oh yeah, no, I mean,
there would be no one else qualified to play anymore. He would smash the records out so hard.
Well, Tiger had that terrible car crash and did all that work to go back, and then after having a decent opening day, collapsed by the end of the Masters. It's almost like when you break 17 bones and spend God knows how long in traction. Sometimes you just don't fully recover from that kind of injury. But can we flip back over or go to a different picture because the
it's too much?
No, it's not that it's too much. It's that if we're gonna have like some really honest commentary, then yeah, here this is a good place. Can we?
Okay, now
Wait, hold on. Can we pull it up?
Okay.
Because I was going to say something. I feel like the Hodge twins. Won't you let me say something? Okay. I'm gonna say that the quiet part absolutely out loud in your face. If this chick didn't have a penis, she would not have won shit. It is
Correct.
I mean,
'Cause let me remind you, this was a beauty contest.
I mean, you know, and I get that this is like a teen beauty contest, so you know we're teetering on the edge of even the bounds of good taste that Chris and I try and stay inside of, but you know,
But these are objectively pretty girls competing in a
beauty
contest.
Yep.
And apparently 3 of them won first place.
Oh, bro, I know 4 fat people and you are 5 of them. Like, this is the madness of it, too. This is when people are like, why can't you just be more accepting of the trans? And what's wrong with you? And, your slippery slope fallacies. And because of shit like this. Because just, what? What? Can we scroll back up though to the other one? Because I'll make the same point again. Like, to be fair, he, she, it does look like an androgynous fat Asian person.
I'll give you that. Yeah. I mean, if you get enough cheeseburgers down your gut, my brothers, then you too can put on a sports bra and pretend like they're all natural.
I wouldn't be surprised if those are all natural. You eat enough.
I'm sure of it.
I mean,
I'm sure of it.
Damn, Dave Bowen is on fire with his comments this morning. She looks like a trash can in a red dress.
Sergeant Major asks, what recourse do the other contestants have? That's a big part of the problem right there. None.
They've all got to stand there and smile for that photo and pretend like they're okay with it, even though you know they're all fucking dying.
In fact,
inside.
it's not even sufficient that they pretend to be okay with it. They have to pretend at least to actively support it, which is part of how he won to begin with. Right. Oh man. On fire with the comments. My mother. Say Mahu without saying Mahu. Mahu.
I've never been to Hawaii, but I understand the context.
Okay.
No, I get it. Look, no, come on, keep going. Don't rabbit hole. Keep going.
But there was this Mahu at Denny's.
Nope, keep going. Keep going. I got it. I got the joke. I promise everybody else did too.
So, have we done enough here, or can we move on to the next one?
Well, I think it's important to actually go into the article itself, like, for the context, because, like, this is a serious news story.
Right.
And to be fair, it is a serious news story. At least that's what NBC and whoever. Wait, no, this is.
This is whoever.
Yeah, Steve is asking, "Where's my black leather?"
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna wear black leather when we were talking about transgender children. It's just too many things. Hey, I can't read the article.
What?
I can't read the article.
It's right there. Oh. Go for it.
All right. A teenager in New Hampshire has become the first transgender contestant to win a local Miss America organization beauty pageant. Brian Nagayan, the single most challenging name for white people to say, right there.
It's Wynn. It's Brian Wynn.
Whatever.
Nguyen Wynn.
Yeah, look, that's...
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, Brian won, that's for sure. won Sunday night's pageant to become Miss Greater Dairy. Oh my, that's a rather unfortunate title for someone that's... Woo! Which awards the winner a crown, title, and scholarship. That's the thing there, because of course a lot of these girls, like, they make the sacrifices because it gives them a path forward. You know, like, there's actual things on the line here. That crown, that title, that scholarship, it gives them opportunities to build a brand and help them pay for college, right? In 100 years of history of Miss America, I have officially become the first transgender title holder within the Miss America organization, Nagayan announced on Instagram. No words can describe the feeling of having the opportunity to serve my community and represent my community for the very first time at Miss New Hampshire. Nagayan continued, I am so honored to be crowned your new Miss Greater Dairy 2023, and I am thrilled to show you all what I have up my sleeves. Probably bacon grease. Oh! This will be an amazing year. Let's see. Miss Greater Dairy Scholarship.
M.A., you're not wrong. You're not wrong. You ain't right.
So, anyhow, but yeah, Miss Greater Dairy Scholarship Program, founded in 1986, provides scholarships to young women between the ages of 17 and 24 living in the Greater Dairy area, are recognizing their outstanding achievements in scholastic aptitude, talent, character, community service, and poise, according to its website. You know, I'd also be willing to bet that by these somewhat objective metrics, like, you either have good grades or you don't. You can either play the flute. No, okay, that's a lie. Brian's probably the best one out of that entire group at playing the flute.
Surely. I would like to point out community service and poise. Poise?
Well, no, like, I think poised and posed, and they must be getting those two things. Anyhow. The Miss Greater Dairy Scholarship Pageant is also a preliminary event for the Miss New Hampshire Pageant and ultimately the Miss America Pageant. While some on social media celebrated Nagayan's win, others online heavily criticized the competition for taking away a scholarship meant for young women. And yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. Like if that picture is anything to judge by.
Well, you can't be sexist, right? It's that simple. You can't. It's not fair to have awards that are only available to people based on immutable characteristics. It's not fair to discriminate against people based on their gender, and it's not reasonable to ignore the simple truth that's proved by this circumstance, which is that men do everything better than women.
Yeah, apparently, even win beauty contests.
Apparently.
A rule of the Miss United States of America pageant is that contestants must be natural-born females, and the complainant reached out to the pageant and asked if the rule could be changed. The pageant allegedly declined. I don't think someone should be allowed to compete simply because they are transgender, the complainant told NPR. I think that it's very arbitrary. Transgender women are equal to cisgender women. No, they're better. They keep winning everything.
But
they're better. They keep winning everything. To me, pageantry isn't just about the way a person looks. To me, it's about giving people a voice. That's funny. Have you ever heard some of these women talk?
There was this ma who at Diddy's once.
And look, one critic said it, if this were a woman, she never would have made it past the entry process. And that is, you know, that's the absolute bottom line, hardcore truth of it. A girl, a cisgender girl, I mean, they would have been laughed out of the building.
Right.
Like,
and
look, honey.
Frankly, anytime I hear someone use the word cisgender unironically, we're done. You're not an intelligent, competent agent of intellectual conduct. Cisgender, no, there is no such thing. It is an arbitrary word that you made up. It's like making up a word to describe all non-maple trees as non-maple trees instead of describing them with the categories that they actually belong to.
Well, it's also projection. See, because they've got their special labels for their special categories. They cannot help but project that back outward. Everyone must have a special label on their special category. It's actually kind of an inverted way of normalizing some of their bizarre behaviors.
Sergeant Major says we should talk about that camper.
That's not a camper.
We're already at 10 minutes till.
No, let's do the other one.
I've got enough freedom to stay a little over today, but I don't want to miss the second story we're covering this morning.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I've been doing a great deal of research, and I've decided the Decepticons need to become more politically correct. I'm a woman now.
So the Transformers introduce new non-binary robot. Okay.
You know, the next thing you should play is the Disney. We're queering up for Judge. I'm injecting queerness. And do you have that one handy?
I do. Let's just be very clear about this. This is.
Let's have these two characters kiss. Let's in the background. Like I was just wherever I could, just basically adding queerness to like. And you see it.
I mean, that is what's happening in our. Okay, St. Michael asks, "Is this real?" Okay.
Apparently.
In all fairness, the clip that I just played for you is a gag. It's a 5-minute video.
That is hysterical.
That is uncomfortably funny, and I will find the link for you guys and drop it in the comment I'll just drop it in the comments thread for you real quick. But it's like Cameron said, it's absolutely hysterical.
You'll feel uncomfortable, but
in all fairness, that clip is not from the new Transformers.
Gentlemen, I've been doing a great deal of research, and I've decided that.
Okay, we're back.
I did not mean to play the clip again, but so here's the article. Let's zoom in on that a little bit so people can read it. And well, would you look at that? As reported by Kotaku, almost 40 years after the franchise's initial inception, a non-binary transformer who canonically uses they/them pronouns. So I'm assuming this transformer works like the Devastator.
Look,
it's more than one robot in disguise.
No, that's not what it is. In fact, I went a little further down the rabbit hole. It's very cringy. It gets explained to everybody. No, Nightshade uses they/them pronouns. It gets explained.
This new robot friend is called Nightshade. They were introduced in the cartoon TV series Transformers Earthspark, which released last Friday. Earthspark centers around the Terrans, a whole new generation of bots who were born on Earth alongside humans.
What age group is the Transformers aimed at again?
My son. 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old kids.
I have a couple of sons in that age range.
Yeah, our sons.
Do you know, man, part of what bothers me about that, yeah, there we go. He or she.
Nightshade's pronouns are they, them. He or she just doesn't fit who I am.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it does.
You know what? I'll grant. It's a robot. It is a robot. Unless you're a native Spanish speaker or Russian or German or, a non-Asian, non-American language native speaker, your toaster does not have genitalia. I mean, my toaster does not have genitalia.
Right. But
my microwave doesn't wear pretty dresses and kiss all the boys.
Right. Well, I don't think Brian kisses all the boys. I'm sure there are plenty of boys that are like, even if you were a chick, no.
And Alex McDonald points out it's also a cartoon. Yeah, but Alex, you need to check your privilege, my man.
Prime, come out and face me, unless you're afraid to be beaten by a woman! Those mouth-watering breasts aren't fooling anyone, Megatron.
And I swear to you, that cartoon just continues to get worse. And you need to do yourself a favor as soon as we're done here today and go watch that.
Okay, so... okay, all right. According to a couple of screenshots which have been circulating online, the show is very clear about Nightshade's identity. After it's revealed that Nightshade's pronouns are they, them, the robot explains that he or she just doesn't fit who I am. Stop it.
I can fix that.
Thank you. Many Transformers fans are super excited about the character's inclusion. No, they're fucking not! Christ almighty, no, they're not.
They just aren't.
Well, I, for one, am absolutely thrilled with a non-binary Transformers character. The moment the character got introduced, I was hoping they'd go that route, and they did. I was cheering, tweeted Spritling113. You're going on the list of people who's never to be left alone with my children. As a gender-fluid Transformers fan, see, I was right. As a gender-fluid Transformers fan who is thankful to the franchise for getting me through low points in my life and helping me figure out who I am in terms of my bisexuality and gender identity. Woo! Those are definitely words that are technically English.
Nightshade being non-binary hits so hard. That's because it's a robot. It's a robot.
You know, part of what's right. You ever seen that Robot Chicken sketch about the robot that keeps having sex with the washing machine? Clang, 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 clang. Okay, in all seriousness,
Clang, clang, clang goes the trolley problem.
So,
and look, your children are on the tracks, my man.
Here's part of what's frustrating. You know, when we were kids, our parents could just turn on cartoons and they could walk out of the room. Even if there was something that they maybe didn't necessarily agree with happening in the cartoon, everybody, culturally speaking, was more or less on the same page. Like, yeah, He-Man was violent, G.I. Joe was violent, and every single episode wrapped up with a contextual moral message from the episode that's like, no, bullying is bad. Brushing your teeth is good. If something happens to you, you need to tell your mommy and daddy. And like all of these different messages, okay, that were positive. Cartoons still have messages. Oh, yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not all on the same cultural page about said messages. I mean, and that's part of the frustration of it. I can't just turn on cartoons and let my kids watch them.
Right. They all have messages. Like,
your children will work to convert all their sisters and brothers. Then soon we're almost certain your kids will start converting you.
Yes, I did it to you again.
How many of those guys are we up to now that have been arrested for some sexual related crime?
It's easier to list the ones that haven't.
Prime, come out and face me!
Okay, I apologize.
Stop.
I had too many buttons this morning.
Uh-huh. I'm glad that effect was funny, because at least it makes it worth it. Okay.
I love that they do because that was the classic piece in the original Transformers cartoon. You would have the two logos swap because you would cut from the scene with the Autobots
To the Decepticons. Right.
And they put the wig on it.
But
But yeah, they would end with a cogent moral message, and then one of the GI Joes would say, "Because knowing is half the battle." And they never said what the other half is. To be clear, the other half is
actually fighting,
to close the distance and commit extreme violence against the enemies of the United States of America.
Yeah, like how GI Joe. You remember back in the original run of GI Joe cartoons? Like all their guns were laser rifles.
Yes. Yeah.
Which, it's funny as I look back on that now, and I'm like, oh, okay, that was appeasement.
Yep.
Boy, but that slippery slope thing isn't.
Not at all. And we'll talk more about where appeasement gets you when we get back to conversations about developments in the Ukraine.
Mysterious missiles landing in Poland?
Yeah. So now, I think that's about all I've got for this morning. We won't be watching these cartoons.
And look, our friend Alex from the TPS report, if you're not subbed, go subbed. They're amazing, but they're not on YouTube anymore because YouTube decided that they didn't like people that told the truth in a humorous fashion.
You got to go find them on Rumble.
Right.
But while you're over there on Rumble finding them, make sure you find us too, because we're racing. We don't even know it yet, but certainly there must be some competition.
Anyhow, as Alex from the TPS report, he gives us a hard time. Why are we talking about cartoons? I will say part of the reason why we talk about cartoons is I have no problem admitting that I am a big, giant dork. And it makes me very sad that everything I loved as a kid, everything from, the Transformers to the Predator franchise, the Terminator franchise, the Star Trek franchise, the Star Wars franchise, the Doctor Who franchise, basically everything I gave half a Rin Tin shit about when I was a kid is back, and it sucks, and it pisses in my face. There's that.
And
okay?
that's not by accident.
Oh, no, it's not by accident. But here's the other side of it, right? Whatever these kids are exposed to in these cartoons now will inform them for life. There is a specific thing. Chris, when you've got like a six-pack with the ring tabs, do you cut the tabs?
Yes.
Were you exposed to the thing with the turtle as a kid?
Yep.
Yeah, so was I.
Yep.
The
Ninja Turtles told me to do it. Captain Planet told me to do it.
Right.
G.I. Joe told me to do it.
And even though I now, as an adult...
I turn the water... I get my toothbrush wet, and then I turn the water off and brush my teeth and turn the water back on to rinse my toothbrush off because G.I. Joe told me that knowing is half the battle, and I want to destroy the enemies of the United States of America. So I brush my teeth between on-water cycles and save water, which is an infinitely renewable resource.
And so, exactly. There you go. Thank you. I didn't think you were going to go quite that deep with it, but I appreciate it.
Well, they made it very, very clear, in especially in things like Captain Planet, that if you use too much water, you would
destroy the planet.
You would hasten our approach to peak oil.
So why do we talk about these things? Well, it's simple, because when your children are told, look, you will respect somebody's pronouns and you will not question things. And the thing with...
You will be made to care.
Well, the thing with gender identity in particular, I think, is especially devastating because it's not like an environmental issue where at least you could say, well, we're building a cleaner environment even if we're not doing it efficiently or whatever, okay?
Right.
All right. No. Now you're telling kids, don't believe your eyes.
Don't believe your lion orbital sockets.
That's right. If you pump a bunch of smoke into the atmosphere, Alex, I'm using you as a straw man. I love you, buddy. I also told people to go sub to you. Like, that's... Anyhow. Oh, golly, but... If you see smoke getting pumped into the atmosphere and you say, hey, that's air pollution, well, it looks like air pollution, and maybe we could try and figure out a way to have less smoke go into the atmosphere, okay? Right. But if a thing looks like a girl-ish, Brian the
It
guy.
looks like a girl and it walks like a girl. It's a duck.
It might be relying on a whole lot of duct tape and girdle.
And trust me on this, you don't want ducks exposed to your autocorrect feature.
That's right. That's right. So this is part of why it's important. Whatever you hit the kids with now, like the social programming that is being done to our youth. Like, can you picture, like, there are going to be, like, normal people that watch, who allow their children to watch this, kind of unaware of what's going to happen. And, like, 5 or 10 years from now, they're going to have this awkward conversation where they're like, oh, yeah, my teacher at school is a blah, blah, blah. Or Sally from down the street wants to just be called Sal because pronouns don't apply to them. Listen, fuck you. Pronouns apply to you for starters, but now you're not even going to be able to say that to your own children because they're going to be like, well, what's wrong with you?
Right. Now we're about to get down a rabbit hole that I actually don't have any more time for, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We'll come back another time and get a little deeper into the weeds on this statement. Representation is a lie. What you're seeing now, by the numbers statistically, is dramatic overrepresentation. Representation is a lie.
Well, that's why they fall for virtue signaling.
Right. So, but I got to wrap it up there. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Too much infighting! Grimlock can't even! Grimlock literally can't even!